Adam Schefter said it involved the Houston Texans. Now, I will never forget, which draft was Mario Williams first overall? Was that
5?
No, it could have been. Was it 06?
I think it was 06.
I think it was our first draft. Would you look that up? The Texans had the first overall pick. Adam Schefter comes into Radio City Music Hall. If it was 06, it was our first draft.
It was 06.
Man, it was our first draft at the site. You know, we had covered drafts from Los Angeles studio, but it was the first time we ever did it from the side of the draft, full writ large, pick one, pick last. And Schefter's like, by the way, the first pick is not going to be Reggie Bush. It's going to be Mario Williams. And we're like, what? Well, this would be akin to that. Not the first overall pick, but the Texans have the second overall pick, thanks to Lovie Smith. And he said he's not sold on the notion that the Texans are going to take a quarterback. If that happens, oh my goodness, then you know who would love that? The Arizona Cardinals would love that. Who wants C.J. Stroud? Because you know the Colts will take him. Who wants Bryce Young? Because you know the Colts will take him. Oh, my gosh, would the Arizona Cardinals love for Nick Caserio and the Texans to take Will Anderson or whoever else they love that's not a quarterback. I think it would be Will Anderson. That's the guy that everybody is focused on as the top non-quarterback to go off the board in the draft. Certainly not Jalen Carter anymore, one would think. Although I guess you can't say anything with certainty anymore if the Texans do, in fact, bust up the notion that the first two picks in this draft will be Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, or C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, depending on who the Panthers like. And right now you say that the town where Mo Green has no plaque or a signpost in his honor or memory where next year's Super Bowl is taking place, Chris, you say that town believes it's Bryce Young again is the number one overall pick right now, right?
Yeah, the odds have flipped. Bryce Young about minus 270 right now. C.J. Stroud now 2-1. Because
Bryce Young just left Carolina.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's what somebody's thinking. He just was there and they're hearing, oh, they love him.
But when the Panthers made the trade up to number one, suddenly the odds flipped. Bryce Young was a big favorite, and then C.J. Stroud
because everyone thought it was C.J. Stroud. Certainly when Josh McCown told him, you know, when you get a place in Charlotte, let me know. Something along those lines, right?
My real estate guy.
So then what would the Texans' plan at quarterback be? Choose somebody top of the second round? Stick with Davis Mills? Call up, or Nick calls up his old friend Bill and says, is Mac Jones available? DeMeco Ryans, new head coach, he was chosen in that 06 draft by the Houston Texans when they took Mario Williams instead of Reggie Bush and zigged when the rest of every other human being on the planet thought they were zagging with Reggie Bush.
You know who else was in that draft? Mercedes Lewis. He's still playing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know what the Texans are thinking. If they're what are they thinking? So we might not choose a quarterback. You know the Cardinals will trade the pick, so you might as well come and trade with us. Like what? What would it be? Like they would actually pass on choosing a quarterback at the top of the draft. I mean, the general sense is you choose one when you need one, and you choose one when you might need one in a couple of years because you don't expect to choose this high anymore because you're going to build such a juggernaut, which is why Pete Carroll said earlier this year on this show earlier last month that, hey, we're looking at all quarterbacks, even though we just re-signed Geno Smith, because we don't intend to choose this high anymore, sitting there at 5. But if the Texans go on the clock and the name Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud doesn't come out of their mouth based on what the Panthers just did, then it's on like the proverbial Donkey Kong. And Arizona will be just like, who's coming with me?
Dude.
You know? And Adam again, why put this information out there? And I'm not saying that Adam is being used as a tool, but because we all are in the NFL. He's just saying what he's hearing. And what he may be hearing is that, the Texans aren't totally sold on choosing a quarterback because they might not be completely sold on whoever is left. If it's Stroud, are they not as sold on Young? Could that be possible? If it's Young, are they not as sold on Stroud? Is that possible?
And so what, like Vegas moves up and they get the 7th pick and then next year it's 3 and a 4 or something, you know what I mean?
Or do they love Will Anderson that much? Like, what is their thinking on that front? Because I don't know why they wouldn't go ahead and take one of these kids when you're sitting there at 2 and Davis Mills is your other option to stick with it, or there's no free agent that's coming through the door. Unless the Patriots have talked about Mac Jones to them. Could he be that guy?
Obviously, Caserio has a relationship.
I'm literally throwing stuff against the wall, having heard what Adam Schefter said, fully knowing that Schefter has shocked me before about a Texans draft choice maneuver that nobody saw coming. That was the first big moment in NFL Network's draft coverage when Adam did that in 2006. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.